All right, how's it going, everyone? Uh, this is the last stream of the week. This is Friday. Um, so I went ahead and done a bunch of extra work. What I've mainly been trying to do is I guess you would call it like quality assurance, essentially. Just going through and making sure things are the way I need them to be, and like as far as like focusing on like faces or hands or anything like that that I feel like should be taken care of and be a certain way. I'm making sure that those things are done. So I'll go back, and do all that and check in and zoom out and make sure, all that stuff is where I need it to be. And then I'll go through and check over the tone and anything else I can think of to fix right now. These are usually like fast edits. And because they're fast edits, yeah, it means that I'm not trying to put myself in a position to need to like redraw like a whole page or anything like that necessarily. But for the most part, I think that what I have down is pretty good since I've gotten this far with it. The other thing I'm trying to also do is clean up, but like also not miss out on a certain amount of energy. Because I know that if you over clean up a line and make it completely like really perfectly straight and everything like that, then you will lose out on the energy that that thing has as well. So I'll try not to get rid of that. But yeah, so we're gonna do a little bit more of that, and also it's kind of like the day where kind of go over and add in sound effects and stuff. Um, so that'll be cool. And if we get to the end of that, then I'm gonna start sketching out a rough idea. Well, I'll go over the rough that I kind of came up with as far as how I want the cover art to be. So that should be pretty cool as well. All right. So I've made some notes on what needs sound effects here and there in like my beginning initial sketches. So like when I have like these roughs here, it's like a little thing here. Again, this isn't the real dialogue, it's just joke dialogue. But yeah, I kind of had an idea of what I wanted dialogue wise and where I wanted to place it. So I kind of just took those notes and used them and kind of made sure that I made a good attempt at getting things situated in that way. Wrong one. This one. So this kind of turned out pretty well. Um, go ahead and save. Yeah, for the most part, the pages are about done. As far as imagery goes, when it comes to dialogue and stuff, there's definitely some bubbles that I have to add in here and there. Um, I'd say most of the bubbles are already there. I think I wanted to add in some walking sound effects here, but then again, I really think it needs it. See, I have a notice type thing going on here, so I have to add that as well. So I'll do that now. I think that's fine actually. No need to do anything too extra there. Kind of also want to add like something in the background here. Feels a little bit incomplete. It's mainly something like clouds or something. know I downloaded a cloud brush as well. Wonder where I placed it. Doesn't matter though, I don't necessarily need a cloud brush per se. Wonder what this looks like again. Right, that's what that looks like. Change to pen. Alright, with that, I think I want to do something else. Number one thing that sticks out to me is the fact that I want to add a little bit more lighting to the scene. I'm going to quickly try and do something about that. So I'm going to grab this tool here, just kind of go over these things, these shapes here. Now that I have that selected, go for this one. Just gonna fill it. And now I'm going to kind of erase away what I don't feel like what things I don't probably need there. I can also play with the opacity, but sorry if I sound a little bit tired. I am a little bit tired. Alright, I'm using the wrong one. Doesn't seem like it's working either. Odd. Yes, it is though. I need to use a different tool. Alright, it's tone scribing, of course. That looks a bit better to me. It's a lot more complete. Go ahead and save. Hopefully it didn't take me too much time. Wait, is this thing even working? Okay, it is, yeah. Didn't take me too much time. Good. See, I was thinking about putting like some steps here, but then I was thinking like, I don't need to. Technically the visual aspect of things are kind of taking the forefront, I'd say. Guess I'll clean up a little bit of things here. Let's see. This is the layer. So I'll erase around an aspect of this ear movement here. Okay, I was like, does it work? Okay. Oh, there's also a part here that's kind of leaking over onto her ear from skin tone. Should be on blue. Small mistake. And I'm gonna go to the main line layer and erase away some smaller other things. Alright. Should be good enough. Could have sworn you could like, oh wait, oh that doesn't do it. That's fine. So yeah, fix page page 1 here. The last stream, which was Wednesday. I like the way that looks. Now, lighting is decent. Page 2, I added in these sound effects here, sound effects over here on page 3. Fixed up the imagery here and there where I could. I've made a new decision to kind of add like a certain value inside their outfit so that it doesn't get confused with like the outer aspect of it, which makes it a better, looks better visually. So that's cool. I add the sound effects here. I know that I'm going to add some dialogue bubbles around this area. I had some in my notes, some sound effects of walking here. So maybe I could have that back. Added one here when he drops the clamshell. Also added one already over here when they walk away. Two on this page. I know over here I want to add like chatter or something like that. But it's a maybe. It doesn't really probably need it. To make my job easier, just gonna go ahead and grab these and copy and paste them. That's what I'm gonna do. So go ahead and let's see. Click there. So on that layer exactly. Copy that. I think something that I still have a little bit of a confusion about is how to actually lay these things out on the double page spread panels. If I knew, which I honestly could learn if I really scoured the internet, I assume. But yeah, like if I knew exactly how to put these things on here, I'd probably be able to dive harder into doing more double page spreads more consistently. Right now, I'm still like not there. Oh wow, I see it. I know what I'll do. Wonder, can I convert this? Transfer, convert layer. Oh, look at all that. I lost so much just from doing that. I don't need to. That's pretty cool. Last but not least, I guess, kind of want to add a darker value to some of these tree joints right here. Feel like they could be a little darker here. Let's go ahead and grab this layer select tool. Always check that I'm on the layer. It's cool. Gonna try, oh, it's a multiply, so I should be able to grab something over here and do something with it. me see, where's that this thing here? Right, okay. So that's on that layer. I'm gonna go ahead and select what's on the layer. Should be fine. And zoom in. Might actually be too much. So it looks a little bit like it's not matching up well. That's better. See, let's undo this. Yeah, it looks a little bit fuller. I like that. All right. Now, there are definitely some other things that I'm going to be doing with this for later, but it's like stuff I really need to take a certain level of care into that I haven't, I guess, put enough thought into at this point in time. At least, like, working on this overall chapter, trying to just get everything a certain way. But yeah, let me see. Is there anything else I would like to even touch on at this point? For the most part, I like the way things are looking. I don't feel like I overdid anything yet, so that makes me a little happy. I think I do have to do something with this since I did something with this pattern here. Let's see. This is the highlights, right? Yes. So, and if this is this, one of these, yeah, it's this one. Okay, let's see. What value were you? Probably the first one, honestly. Grab an ink pen. Try to mimic some of the stuff I did, knowing that, yeah, some of this is already coming through here, but not very much. So let's see here. Decrease my pen size. Knowing that there's going to be light here, I'm going to try and make sure it gets further away, like further apart hatching. That way it kind of showcases a bit of the light. What's going on there? It's not as close together as the first couple of shapes on the further away one. Cool. So when I meant signage, I meant, you know, like actually like naming the shops and stuff. The main shop that I named was the this one here. Actually put the title there with like my own like hand and everything. I know I'm gonna be doing that. The other ones with the computer and stuff, so I'll make all the areas where there's, you know, a bunch of this festival stuff going on look a lot more lively, with everyone having their own name for each sign and their each shop and stuff like that. I'll do that a bit later, but I'll probably record that maybe for like Patreon or something. Also, this last page that I worked on, for the most part, I recorded that process for Patreon. Um, it was a two-part video. So that was pretty cool. I like how it turned out. It's pretty nice. Um, so yeah. Um, if you're wondering where that content went, or like how did I get past that part, I kind of recorded it and put it up on Patreon already. Well, actually not yet. I actually have to release all of my videos. Because I want to actually do at least 4 videos a month, where it's just maybe, I don't know, hour to 2 hours maybe each video, and that'll be some decent amount of content, I think, because I'll be able to go into more depth with different things, showing off my process and stuff like that on certain specific parts. And also I have music that isn't necessarily copyright free, though I don't think it's that bad of a thing to not have non-copyrighted music. I mean copyrighted music, actually. It's just for YouTube that I don't have it. Okay, so it's around that time, so I guess I can kind of talk about this cover idea. So last chapter, I believe, I was working on a chapter cover where I came up with some sort of idea that I wanted to do an illustration thing for the Divinity, and I was like, this is cool, and I come up with a sketch and everything, and I drew it and did everything I needed to do with it. And then I was like, wait a minute, the thing I just drew doesn't work for the previous, well, it doesn't work for this, what was it, yeah, the previous chapter. It works for the chapter I'm doing right now. So actually, no, what was I saying? I was saying, oh yeah, so the sketch that I'd done, the drawing I had done, it basically kind of spoils what happens in the chapter in a way. So I wouldn't want to use it to do this chapter cover. I would use it for the next chapter cover. That way, because it's kind of like something that happens after you find out what happens in this chapter. So it technically takes place somewhat after the events happen in this chapter, if you will. So, okay. So I was like, okay, well, what can I draw for this specific chapter? I was like, oh yeah, I already sketched it out, I believe. So here's a little idea here. It's just these two guys walking together and kind of just vibing, I guess. Oh yeah, they're eating an apple, right? That's a big deal. They're eating an apple, and in a way, it slightly spoils, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not like it's not like crazy. It's more like this is something that actually happens in the chapter. It doesn't take place after the chapter or show something that didn't happen in the chapter. So in a way, it's a slight spoiler, but it's a more like a hint or something like that. It just shows something that actually happens, I guess. So it kind of makes sense to go with this one. So I'm gonna kind of go over this. Let me get something to drink. Part of me does not like this music. Kinda feels too soothing. Hey, how's it going, Aaron? Alright, that's my initial, that goes over my initial rough sketch. I feel like it's an idea that I can definitely use. It's definitely usable. Not much more I'd add here for a rough sketch for an idea that I have. It's good enough. I guess I could do something with the background, but I kind of like that shape, actually. It has like this triangle type thing going on. I know Toriyama would do stuff like that every now and then. It was some specific cover. Who was it? Gohan or Trunks or something? Who had that? That was fun. Okay. Oh, okay, I about to say what's going on, Pim. That could be something. Yo, how's it going, Kai? I like it though, at the same time. I'm just roughly putting in shapes on this idea. Oh, that's not gonna work. Kinda tired. Played too many games today. I know you said you were gonna get your nap in, but then your console came, so I guess you probably didn't get to get the nap in like you wanted. This could be fun. Maybe I can also play with that idea a bit more. Did I click on here? Okay. That's a maybe. Better. Now all I gotta do is put some more attention on those hands, and then they'll look a lot better. Funny part is I think this guy's head, well, actually, maybe it's his head that's too big. Or too small, actually, more so. It's funny. Alright, let's see. Let's just try and go around this part of it. Okay, still his head. His head still feels a little small. That looks a lot better. Alright, now I think my Keem's head is a bit big. How big is your head, bro? Like, I know you got a big head, but goddamn. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even think it's perfectly wrong. Just a little bit too big. That's a little bit better. Cool. Alright. Well, I guess that's where I'll stop for now. I'll be working on some cover art stuff over the weekend. Kind of getting that together and kind of finishing up the art aspect of this chapter, including word bubbles and anything else I see fit to kind of change. Here's another, I guess, preview of what I kind of worked on with you guys. Really like how I came back and fixed up what I didn't like about this this page. Yeah. Actually, I think I actually have time lapse on. Let me see. I think I have time lapse on as well. Let's see if I go ahead and yeah. Here's like it's like a little time lapse of like what this page was like working on it. It is like the first initial wave of, you know, cleaning it up and getting it ready and all that good stuff and putting down the shapes. It's only 30 seconds. Oh, it's 60 seconds. Oh, just a minute. But I'll only show this one. But yeah, I'm happy I went back. So this is the first initial like thing here. Oh, well, yeah, it was. And then I went back and got rid of some of the shadow stuff and kind of reworked the lighting. I eventually retouched up the trees, I believe. Put an outline around the characters, it looks like. I believe I put some shadows around the trees. On the bottom half, I went ahead and add more detail on the ship in the foreground here, or, you know, in the middle ground technically, of the second panel. And I added some lighting also to the character's hair and everything there. So yeah, I feel like I like the way it's balanced a lot more here. So yeah. Yeah. I'm happy the way things turn out. I think that most of these things kind of meet exactly what I wanted it to feel like, imagery wise. And I didn't overdo it with sound effects or anything like that. I feel like the more sound effects you add to something, it feels like media meant for like younger and younger people, I guess. And I know that I do want to do like middle grade writing, I guess, if you will. Like, you know how for example, I kind of learned this some time ago, but basically, you know, everybody when they write, they have a certain age group that they usually start going for, like a demographic or whatever. And I know that I want to at least start off doing writing that is, I guess, comparable to if I guess Harry Potter had a manga. I guess that's Naruto. Naruto kind of like that. Um, but and I want to go up from there though. So there's just certain moments I feel like don't need extra sound effects. I feel like you don't need that. You don't need to emphasize all these things. If you've already drawn it well enough, you don't need to go out of your way to put extra sound effects there. At least for my approach, right? My approach, I don't need to do that. I feel like I don't. I just focus really hard on the visuals. That's another reason why I use tone and things of that nature, or lighting, so that I can really make sure you feel something other than just the line work that I use, you know. Oh, I have to definitely fix up this ship, or this boat right here that's supposed to be here. I didn't finish drawing that in, so I gotta finish drawing that in. Mental note to myself and to you guys, I guess. I like the lighting here. I kind of feel like it's a little bit too dark, but at the same time it fits for the story moment thing that I'm going for. And I'm going to overlap some panels from this panel into this panel, so that's going to be pretty fun. The scene still cost me the most time as far as drawing it. Toning it didn't, I don't think it cost me as much time as others. Happy with both of the way these kind of turn out. I have to add a word bubble here as well. This whole page I'm really happy with. There's only one sound effect here. I fixed this guy's face already. Water is fine. These guys are fine. This guy's face is cool. Pretty much happy with everything here already. Love the way this turned out. It's a little experimental here with these lines here. Reminds me of like old school Dragon Ball or something. Still need to look up more things on double page spreads, but still happy the way this turned out. I have to finish it up as far as adding titles and stuff like that to the shops and stuff. Maybe even some more visuals, depending on how, you know, what I think. Same thing here a bit. These are fine. Focus on things here are story driven, so I can kind of get away with having a simplistic approach to this one. Same thing here as the previous one. I said I don't really need to go too crazy here. Maybe a little bit more, but not a lot more. And transition from here to here is fine. So I hope that works. Love the way the background turned out. Again, I may add something like some text or whatever to some of the imagery that I couldn't do by hand, but for the most part, I think that's done. Alright everyone, thanks so much for coming through and checking out the process. I should be starting the next chapter next week with you guys, working on the storyboards and everything. So I'll probably get my head in gear for, my head in the headspace, I'd say, for working on that chapter. And I'll be roughing out or figuring out where we're going to go with the roughs of the storyboards. I may put some of that stuff on Patreon if I come up with it before the weekend is over and kind of sit down and work through that stuff. But for the most part, you'll see a big part of it. If anyone wants to support, check out a link to Patreon or my Patreon in the description of this video. If you want to come back through and you see this VOD, make sure you come through on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Other than that, check out the Divinity on webtoon. I have a decent amount of pages up there at this point. So yeah. Thanks everyone. I'll see you guys next week. Peace everyone.